Continuing on with our series on how to use the functions in the POS screen, we'll continue with the ones on the bottom right here. These are all the functions. We've already seen how we can edit our items. We've seen how we can give discounts. There's the other discount button here, which we'll touch on in a moment. You've seen our returns, how to print last dockets, our docket history. So now I'm going to show you what these other buttons do. The one that's most commonly used, and I'm sure everyone's had circumstances this, someone place a big order and says, oh, hang on, I left my wallet in the trolley. Can you just save that for a sec? I'll come back and fix you up for it. So what you can do is you can click on the suspend, and I can click auto suspend on the far left. So now it's created me a generic counter sale tab and it puts it in the back. So now you can serve another customer, cappuccino, hazelnut, sounds good, cash. Customer comes back in and goes, can I fix you up for that, please? Yep, not a problem. All we do is click on our suspend tab, highlight his tab, select it with the select all button, and it brings it back in the till. And you pay it as normal. And once it's paid, give me the change, you'll find it'll automatically delete it off the tab list. Now this suspend function has many functions. As you can see, I've got tabs here already for clients, and I can partially pay or pay all of them. Commonly used, let's say, in a scenario where your next door neighbor will come in and say, oh, hi, Joe here, can I just grab a cappuccino and put it on my account? I'll fix you up tomorrow. So grab a cappuccino, 2 sugars, put some caramel in there, make him happy, suspend it. I can now suspend it under a name or number. And it's the second button here on the left hand side, and this is for Joe. Enter. And now you can see it's created a tab for Joe, and Joe's got a cappuccino on there, and he owes me $5. All right, so Joe comes in at the end of the week, says, can I fix you up for that cappuccino, I owe you? Yep, not a problem, Joe. We click on our suspend, we select Joe, we select all, puts it in the till, and we just cash it out as normal. So that's how your suspend function works. So it's got a lot of other interesting functions. I can actually add as you can see, this one here's got a minus 16, so it owes us $16. But if I say I'm going to prepay on this tab $50, save, it's telling us we've still got $34 left, and it's gone white now. And once they've used up that account or that tab, it'll come up and start beeping you, and it'll go red, and that's what we call a bar tab. So let's say, for example, now one guy wants to pay for his own burger, so we're going to uncheck these, and I'm just going to select his burger. I can also partially pay that burger, and it just puts that in the till. Go end sale, $10 cash, and you'll see if I go back to the suspend, that burger now on tab 2 is gone. It's been partially paid. So there's quite a few functions and options there, but they're the main functions that people would use. You can also print out a pre-bill, a pre-docket on a particular tab. So print some little docket, you can show them, they can see what they actually spend, and they've got a copy of what they've used up so far. So that's your suspend tab. Okay, so let's just place another order on the screen. Go cafe latte, small, decaf, hazelnut, 1 sugar. Okay, so we've got a couple of orders on the screen. Now, we're seeing the discounts at the top here that the staff generally use. We have a supervisor protected discount button on the bottom here. Now, this one's very interesting because, as you can see, I'm logged in as staff, so it's now asking me for my supervisor password. Okay. As you can see, we've got quite a lot of variations we can do here. We can change an individual price. So on that hazelnut syrup, if I want to go change the price of that, or add, say, 50 cents on the sugar, I can just go 0.50, change item price. It's going to just double confirm that I'm the supervisor, and voila, it changes the price, and it tells us which discount button we used. If I want to place a global discount, and I want to give 25% off the whole order, the majority of the ones that you would use are on the right hand side here. In the liquor industry or convenience store, you may use some of these where you'll have an items that 4 or 5 items that are the same. You want to take a $1 discount off a particular item. The same thing happens with the group category, and as well as just your general category. So you've got these functions on the different types of categories that you set up on that particular stock item. Mainly used in convenience stores, grocery stores, in cafes, and most businesses will just use the global discounts here. You have some user-defined ones, and we'll discuss that in another video, and how to create these and create all these surcharges and discount buttons that you can use on the front as well as on this panel here. But the majority of the buttons that you're going to be using are all these global discounts. So let's say we're going to give 25% off the total, so we'll use the 25% off total button here, click on that, and it creates the 25% off button here. Now, if I want to get rid of that, I'll change my mind. I don't want to give him 25%. I can just click on it like normal and go minus. And so I can take that discount off. If I want to do a flat dollar value, I can do the same thing. I'd say I just want to give him $2 off the total. It gives him $2 off the total. Again, I change my mind. I can minus it from there. So that's how your global discounts work, and you can see how it's password protected, that only the supervisor can actually use that button if you're logged in as staff, which is why we have the different user passwords and permissions, so you can set. Okay, just a few other buttons down here that we didn't explain in the other videos that I just want to finish off with. We have a quantity, so for example, if someone wants four espressos because he wants to take them up to his office, get 4 accept as quantity, hit the espresso button, it'll come up as 4 espressos. We also have a double tap feature where it comes up with the quantity bar. If you wanted to make that 5, you can make that 5. It'll change the quantity just by double tapping. So if I want to go, say, 3 cappuccinos, it'll go change the price of the 3 cappuccinos. However, this is a dangerous function to use unless they're all the same and unless they all have the same options. I would suggest that you don't use that. I would suggest you put them all individually, because the makeup of every order is always going to be individual. Not everyone's going to have vanilla and 2 sugars. So the best thing is to put them all individual orders. The system will automatically group them before printing. So if I go cappuccino, espresso, 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 when I actually go end sale and prints the coffee docket, it'll actually group all them together and say, okay, in total we found 8 espressos all the same. So it'll just have espresso 8 on the coffee docket. So we don't print long dockets. So very important feature to have, and very important to understand that everybody's preference is different. It's better to put them all individually. There is options in the back to be able to group these as you go. I wouldn't recommend it in a cafe. In a convenience store, if you're scanning 1 bottle of Coke, 2 bottles of Coke and so forth, it'd be great to automatically group them. That option is available to you in the back office. Okay, so that's your quantity button. The table and the home delivery pickup buttons. Just before I touch on those, because these are shortcut buttons to our order type that's at the top here, which is all the different ways that you can actually take orders. As you can see, you've got everything from takeaway, table service, phone orders, online orders, and kiosk sales, all your QR code sales. And you've got a pending order list as well. At the moment, we're on our takeaway screen. So these are shortcuts to go to our table service. We can go back to our POS, and we can also go to a home delivery pickup service. Okay, and go back to our POS. Okay, so there for another discussion. So these are shortcut buttons. Your up and down, and the reason to clear my screen is because we're putting in a brand new home delivery order, and so it's cleared the screen ready for us to go. So let's just put another order up here quickly. Okay, so up and down basically is if we've got fat fingers like myself that you've struggled to click on the actual line, you can always use your up and down arrows to accurately point to the item that you want to insert a modifier or delete. So the up and down, your shortcut buttons, and pretty much that's covered all the functions that you'll need. One more button that I will show you that's very important that you may use, and that's called an open food button. You'll see that in different sections it's labeled slightly different. It's always in the bottom corner here. That's your open food, or in your drinks it's an open drink. The difference between the open food button and your insert modifier button is the insert modifier button will follow the main item. So if you're clicked anywhere here and you put in a modifier, whatever instruction you give it and whatever you charge will follow that item wherever it prints. The open food is if it's a totally new item. So say for example we have a special on a muffin and it's $5. It'll treat it as its own item, just a miscellaneous in case you get in trouble. So between the open food and insert modifier, in 99% of the cases you get out of trouble, you can ring anything up on the till. Okay, I hope that was very informative, and I think we touched on all the major functions that you would use. So thank you for listening.